Come on in to Sister's Tarot. Gather round, everyone. I have here my trusty magic 8-ball. Let's take a look inside, see what it has to show us today. Hello, Aquarius. This is a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising Venus, and North Node in Aquarius. Take what resonates and leave out the rest. If you don't resonate with the reading, feel free to check out my other videos. You may have some messages there. Now, without further ado, let's start the reading. I hope you're having a good weekend so far and everything's going well for you. Come on now. We have the Five of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands in reverse. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Ten of Wands. Okay, we're going to start with the Five of Wands here. I'm picking up that you're having internal and external type of combat that you're dealing with. Excuse that. I was waiting until a vehicle went by that was playing their music loud. Okay, as I was getting at here, Five of Wands, we have much interference internally and externally. So you're dealing with much battles within yourself, but also in your environment. So you have much to deal with on a spiritual and physical level is what I'm picking up, and even mentally. So there's a lot that's on your plate right now. And then we have the Ace of Cups. But there is some form of a blessing trying to present itself to you in the midst of the chaos, which in many times it is in the midst of the chaos when your blessings do come through. So just keep your head held high and keep pushing through, and don't let these internal and external forces of distractions and combat and whatever you're battling at this time distract you or keep you from seeing the bigger picture in things and seeing that your blessing is truly on its way, even amongst the chaos. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. I'm picking up this as more of your livelihood, like your homestead here, but it can also represent your finances. So right now you're trying to build up your pentacles, and it's well on its way to this Ten of Pentacles, if it's not already in this. Just that some of you, it's going to be you just entered that or you're about to enter it. Take it however it resonates. But this is also about your dwelling of your home, and that and now I'm also picking up there might be some interference in your homestead here too. But since this is in the upright and this being right in the middle with this Ace of Cups, things are going to start getting better for you. And for some of you, if you're already living with someone, for instance, like say a relative or someone like a roommate or whatever, that this is also a blessing that's about to arrive, that you'll be able to be well on your way to getting your own place. This is only going to be a specific message for who, I'm picking up to about 5 people. So use your own discernment and your intuition to see if this part resonates for you. Then we have the 4 of Wands in reverse. So before things get better, things are going to also get worse with this being in the reverse. And you're going to feel like things are upside down at times. But you have to go through it to get to the other side. So just keep pushing through and go through the dark tunnel to get to the light is what I'm picking up. And I'm also picking up something that looks like right in here. When it was from afar, it looked like it was more like, in water where you have this ripple and it has a circle with the ripple. I'm getting that from that. It's what I first saw from that. So there's going to be like a ripple effect is what I'm picking up. So it's going to be one ripple is what I'm picking up, and it's going to be good. And then it's going to be one, and then it's going to come back in and then ripple again into something bigger, but it's going to be chaotic. And then it's going to form back, and then the ripple's going to get even bigger. It's going to get better. So it's going to be a mixture of different scenarios of good and bad. So you're going to have to brace yourself is what I'm picking up. And just ride it out, because it's going to be a mixture of good and chaos all at the same time. And in the mix of it, you're going to receive little spats of blessings coming through before the bigger blessing just bust out and form in front of you. And then we have the 10 of Wands. So this is going to also obviously burden you down, and you're going to feel overwhelmed. And with this, I pick up a lot of times about chakras here. So you definitely want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water and making sure that you're eating well and taking much rest, but also helping your chakras to stay in balance and make sure that none of them are blocked at this time, because it's what you're really going to need. I'm going to see what I'm getting overall before I move on to the oracle, or see if I need any clarifiers. I'm going to see what advice on this 4 of Wands in reverse is, and what get more information on that. And I'm going to be using the vice versa tarot. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So I'm picking up, this is going to feel as though you're upside down, but because of it is what's going to help reverse this 5 of Wands to where the battle, I'm picking up more, this is just making things more chaotic. So again, it's going to be a mixture. This is verifying more that it's going to be a mixture of good and bad, that it's going to get, as I was picking up, again, things are going to get worse before they get better, but just keep pushing through. I'm going to get some more cards on it, just one more on that one, and see if there's any other cards I need for anything else after that. And you're going to have moments that's going to make you feel like you're exploding. So you might even lose your temper at times and feel a bit beside yourself even. So you might not want to be around people too much, especially if you're working on some form of shadow work at this time too. So don't be around people, because you might explode on them without even trying to, and they don't deserve that. So I'm picking up because of all this chaos, is especially internal and externally. Some external can end up happening due to your internal. So that's why you need to, during this time that you're going through this transition, and my right ear's ringing as I'm saying this, you're going through this transitioning time, this is more a reason why you need to isolate yourself away from most people, if possible, because it's going to be chaotic and you don't want to explode on people like this here, because you're not going to be feeling like yourself. You're going to feel a bit upside down, and you're going to have to take things in stride. And again, you're going to have good and bad. It's going to be like a back and forth, and you're going to have to just take it, every bit of what's coming towards you, and brace yourself. And just take whatever comes your way. Don't fight against it, because it's just going to make things worse. Too many cards. But it is, but I'll just go ahead and show you this still. It's the World card and the Eight of Wands. So there's going to be fast movement and new beginnings coming through. All at the same time is what I'm picking up rapidly. Okay, let's see what other card, again, I'm going to get for this here. See what else needs to be shown in this situation. Too many cards, would you please? And then we have the Star card. So this is what's going to help the diamond within you start shining through. So it's going to be like, it's like the diamond in the rough. So the diamond is going to push through. It's the pressure that's going to make that diamond just explode like it out of this volcano and just show itself. So you're meant to become the star, and this is also your card, obviously, you being Aquarius. So this is meant for you to shine through and show your authentic self in the best way possible. So before you get to the beauty of things, you have to go through the dark night of your soul, obviously, but you're going to have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly within yourself. And some people might not understand that, and they'll just see the worst in you, and that's all they want to see. So it's another reason why you want to stay to yourself. So that way you can do this shadow work by yourself, away from other people, because not everybody's going to understand what you're going through and just going to think the worst of you. Even though it's not that you're a bad person or that you have issues, it's because you need to be away from other people while you're working through all of this that's going within you, because it's also going to be outside forces trying to work against you is what I'm picking up. The reason why I picked up internally and externally all at the same time. So you're really going to be battling at this time. So this is really going to be a time frame you're going to have to take time to yourself, mostly away from people, and isolate, but not in a bad isolation. Obviously it's needed in order for you to reflect and work on yourself, but at the same time not being around other people to end up exploding on them, or them to see you in a way that is misunderstood. So, and also I'm picking up balance. So you need to work on balancing yourself and all your chakras at this time as well. And you might feel a bit off kilter because of it too. So there's more reason, and take in lots of water at this time. And also, of course, use your own discernment and pray and meditate on it to make sure this part's for you or not. But you may even need to fast, so that way you can keep your vessel empty enough to receive the new and get rid of the old as you're doing this. Okay, I'm going to see. I'm going to go ahead and get a clarifier for this Ten of Wands. See a device or whatever else is wanting to show through for that. Then we have the Eight of Cups. You're being shown, whatever you do, don't walk away from doing the work on yourself. Even if it gets really even intense, because it will, but even if it gets to be overwhelming like this Ten of Wands, don't walk away. You have to, if you need to take a break, take a break. And for those of you that might be too much, you can also talk to therapists too. And make sure that you talk to somebody that actually knows how to work with this type of work, like a psychoanalyst or someone like that. Or someone that just specializes in some form of shadow work and knows how to help you in this if you're not able to do it alone. I get one more card because I feel like I need to get one more card. Okay, for this one right here, for the Ten of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Swords in reverse. Of course, this is the Aquarius energy here for sure with the air sign. With this being in reverse and clarifying this Ten of Pentacles. Again, picking up more of what I was talking about because, you know, in the normal tarot, it'd be like this in reverse. So I'm picking up that, okay, don't turn your back on yourself. Normally it would be like this, and I would just say just more clarified about feeling upside down. But with this right here, don't turn your back on yourself. In other words, don't abandon yourself in your work, on working on yourself. Even if you have done shadow work before, there's spats of this. You don't do it just one time and it's all done. Nope, you have to keep going back. Keep going back. Trust me, I know it's aggravating. I've done it enough myself and it's aggravating. But it's not going to just disappear. You have to go and work through it. So when it's time for you to do it again, you have to do it again. Because the more you resist, the worse it's going to be. And I'll be one to tell you firsthand, I've tried doing that myself a few times, and it's just not a good idea. It's better to go with it rather than resist it. So, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, so it'll help things start moving along in a positive way again when you do. And not to be afraid to put yourself on judgment upon yourself too. That's what I'm picking up with this, even though it's not the Judgment card. It's just I'm getting that vibe with facing this lightning and the clouds and all. See if I'm getting anything overall before moving on to the Oracle. I'm just picking up between these two. Definitely make sure that you're getting enough water intake so you don't dehydrate, because this is going to be a lot to take in, especially for those of you that have just now got into this and you've never done shadow work at all, and you're just now becoming aware of spiritual awakening, or you're about to come into it and you're not quite there. This is advice on making sure that you drink plenty of water, and even cleansing with the spiritual bath. And to really just let yourself do the inner work, because this is going to help you come out the other side much better. See if there's anything else I'm getting. I'm going to go ahead and get one more card for this here, this Five of Wands. Especially when it come out again, but in reverse, and with the Four of Wands in reverse. So I'm picking up too, before I get a clarifier. Hold on a minute. I have hiccups trying to come through. Okay. Especially with that, both of these want to come in reverse. And when I was picking up, now I'm trying to remember where I was going with that, because of my hiccups trying to distract me. There might be much distraction trying to keep you from doing the work on yourself, is what I'm picking up from that. See, with the original message that was trying to come through before my hiccups decided to interrupt me. I guess if it comes through again, it'll come through. But it was something that needed to be said. I know that. But if it really needed to be said, it'll come through again. Aggravating. Maybe I wasn't meant to say it. So if it comes to my mind later, maybe it was a message just for me. You know, that's not unusual either. Might be just a message I needed to know. There's always a reason for everything. Might have been a hiccup to make me not say what needed to be said, but it was message just for me or something. And if so, it'll come to me later after the reading. Then we have the Ten of Wands again. So definitely, this is going to definitely burden you down, that's for sure, but obviously. Oh, now I know what I was going to say. Okay, here we go. And so it's apparently it was meant to be said. Some of you, I'm picking up, for actually a lot of you, Could be just at the beginning of this, whether you've went through shadow work before or had to do some form of spiritual work or not, whether it's the first time or not. You're just at the beginning of this new one, and you're not even in the heart of it yet. So this might already starting to burden you down. And I'm also picking up with the stone here. This is your past. So you're burdened down by your past. I'm picking that up with the stone here. So this is what's having you feeling burdened down at this time because of your past. And then we have the moon card here too. So the moon card represents the dark night of the soul right there too. Getting in the boat and just taking that ride down the with the current. It's best to just let it go. Go with it, don't resist it. And just see where it goes and takes you. Even if it's not an easy thing to do, which obviously it's not. It really isn't. So, you're just now getting in the boat, metaphorically speaking, in this ride this time. So, whether you've done this before or not, for many of you that's already done this, you already know a lot to expect. But for those of you that haven't, just brace yourself and just go with it. Because the more you try to resist, the worse you're going to make it on yourself. And for those of you that's never done this before, I would like to be able to tell you that it gets easier, but it depends. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. It just depends on how much you resisted trying to work on healing in the past, and you didn't do what you needed to when you did the shadow work before, and it's now resurfacing and showing itself like the Judgment card and reminding you, hey, this didn't just go away, and now you have to either face it or you're just going to go seeking down and feeling like you're drowning in it. So, whether this is new to you or not, you are just now getting into the boat, getting ready to go into. You hadn't even gotten the heart of it yet. So you're going to go through this, and then you're going to have a little blessing come through. And then I'm picking up now what I'm picking up here, especially with this facing, looking like it's, see, if you had the card like this, it would look like it's facing it. You see, like the King of Swords is facing this homestead. So a lot of this you're going to have to do work from when you grew up in your home. Childhood, especially when I'm picking up with this child here. So there's going to be a lot of inner child wounds that you're going to have to work through to heal do your inner child work. Do work on your inner child. And embrace it. I'm picking up, don't be afraid to just look at yourself like how you would if you were seeing your child version of yourself, and how you would nurture your child self and help your inner child heal. So use your imagination in this moment that I'm speaking, because this is more of a metaphor, obviously, but just imagine if you were looking at your child version of yourself. How would you talk to the child version of yourself? And how would you help your child version of yourself to help you through this? So nurture yourself in the same way you would if you had the inner child actually show itself to you and present itself to you. How would you treat that? Let's say if it's just a child in general. If you treat yourself like you would a child and nurture yourself and take the time to really work on the healing and be patient with yourself, just like you would a child. And just let yourself just go through it. Because again, you're just now about to get in the heart of it. Right now, you just now got in the boat. Again, whether you've done this work before or not, you're getting back in the boat in the beginning stage again. I feel called to use my own experience in this situation to help. For example, I've done much inner work just reflecting and doing the meditation. But I am now in a situation that I'm meant to finish the rest of it by writing a book. And I've been stubborn enough to just keep pushing it aside. And I'm so close to finishing it, but yet I'm not. and now I'm back in the boat again. So I'll use that for an example. I'm going to put myself out there, like, you know, just put it out there so it can, maybe this will help somebody. So even though you might have done a lot of the work, you still have to put yourself back in it, because there's still more work to do. So you go through phases, because if you have it all done at one time, that would be a lot to process, a lot to handle, and it'd be way too much. So you have to go through strides where you're having moments that you just take a rest and everything's just fine, and then you got to go through it again. And then it, you know, just keeps going back and forth. So whatever way you're being called, you listen to your intuition on how you're meant to work through your shadow work and do your spiritual work, and doing that. And it's not easy. It never is. And yeah, it's just best to work with it. Even if it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And I'm putting it that way because sometimes it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, because it's like, ugh, I don't want to go through it again. I already went there, been there, bought the t-shirt, don't want to go there again. Why? But you have to, because obviously you have not made peace with it. Till you learn to make peace with it, it's going to keep resurfacing like the judgment card and just keep showing itself to you. Like the graves are just, it's like the skeletons are coming out of the graves and saying, hello, and letting you know, no, you haven't finished your work. You just, no, gotta keep doing it. Keep going through it. Keep going through the process, and don't just keep avoiding it. I know how easy that can be sometimes, especially when you have things that you got going on and you're trying to go through, but this is going to keep saying, or showing itself to you. And I know in my case, I can use for example, and this might resonate with someone. I even have times when I was trying not to even work on the book because I didn't want to work on it. I have dreams that it will just show itself and say, and just keep going over and over and over in my dreams. And then when I wake up and aggravated, I would hear, yeah, well, if you finish that book, you wouldn't have these nightmares. You wouldn't have this terror. Now, would you? No. Now let's do the book. Now let's finish it. Let's do the work. Things like that. So, you know, I know I can be stubborn. I'm not even gonna lie, I can be stubborn, I know. So this might resonate with somebody. So even somebody like me, I can be stubborn at times too. So, but it's best to just go with it, because it's just not gonna go away. It's gonna still say, hey, no, nope, you're not done. Let's get back on that boat and keep going. Otherwise, you're gonna find out that you're in the water, almost knee deep, almost to your hips even, before you realize, I'm in this water and I have no way of getting out, but yet I don't have the boat. Well, you had the boat, but you didn't take the boat, so it just passed you by, and now you're stuck in the water. Now, do you want to wait around for the next boat and get in it, or do you want to just keep going till you're underneath the water? Metaphorically speaking. That's just what I'm channeling on how to say it in this way. So I'm going to go ahead and pick these up and move on to the oracle now. So, let's move on. I'm going to be using the love messages. I can feel your presence even though we are apart. So, I'm picking up you could be connected to somebody, but I'm also picking up your inner child. So maybe you've detached from that and you need to reconnect with that. But for those of you that are connected to somebody, you might not be connected physically. And it just seems, especially because I can feel your presence even though we are apart. So you might have this presence of feeling a connection with somebody, but yet it's just not physical. It's a spiritual. But again, I'm picking up the inner child. So you need to reconnect to your inner child because you have separated yourself from it. And you need to reconnect. only you can see through me. So this can go two ways. Whoever you're connected to, only they can see through you, or you can see through them. But considering this is a message for you, you're feeling like there's only one person that can see through you. It doesn't mean that you can't see through the person too. It might be an actual mutual thing. So somebody might have already been seeing through you not doing your work. And then even if you just started doing it, it started surfacing that even they couldn't ignore what you're going through. Well, I've been dreaming about having a future with you. So, despite all of this, you or them or both could be have some form of dreaming of future with each other, or vice versa. Take it how it resonates. It could be both of you. It could be one of them. Them or you. Oh, good grief. Anyway, this being underneath the Ten of Pentacles. Anyway, well, let's move on. Let's see if we can shuffle. Nah, I don't feel like that one. I mean, I didn't get my shuffle. Well, of course I didn't. I need it, but when I don't feel it, I don't feel it. I'm not gonna take it. Come on. Nothing really makes sense without you. Well, since that's right underneath the Four of Wands in reverse, I'm getting a scenario of two things. As in, this is not just one-sided. You and them are seeing each other in the same way is what I'm picking up. Nothing really makes sense without you. So, I'm picking up, there's a good chance that you both already seen the good, bad, and the ugly of each other, and you still accept each other. And even if you rub each other the wrong way, at the end of the day, that's still not enough to truly keep you two apart. And they might even aggravate you. But that can happen. So what if sometimes somebody aggravates you? There's bigger things, there's worse things in life than being aggravated sometimes. And then you have a heart of gold. So you definitely, again, with that star card, wanting to show itself too. And of course, that's your energy, but what I was picking up from it, a heart of gold. That diamond in the rough is really wanting to come through, but you have to finish the work so you can be polished up to let it just come through. So you have to be under this pressure, because being under the pressure is what's going to help that diamond come on through. It's the most uncomfortable situations that makes you shine through and shine the brightest. So even if it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, that's the thing. You can't change you or the situation if you're in your comfort zone. There is no change in comfort. It only happens when you're under the pressure, and you have to there's just no way you can just have things change and stay in your comfort. And yeah, it's not easy to be in your out of your comfort zone, but you just have to go there. You really don't want to stay stuck. Because deep down, you don't want to stay stuck. Even if you try to fool yourself into thinking I'm better off, you know deep down that's not true. So it's best to just embrace the uncomfortableness of working through the shadow work and just pushing through it anyway. Even if you just have to grit your teeth and just keep pushing through. Even if it aggravates you and it makes you mad, even if it makes you just want to just Maybe get a punching bag so that way you can just let out the frustration if you need to. Go for a walk, whatever it takes. Just don't walk away from it. Like with that, I don't know where it's at. Where did it go? Like this was showing itself. Don't walk away from it. No matter how much of a burden it is, don't walk away from yourself. Don't turn your back on yourself. Do the work. Even if it's very much uncomfortable. Revisiting your past memories and trying to go through it like you're living through it again. It's not an easy task. But you can't just avoid it either, because it's just going to keep resurfacing and reminding you, hey, I haven't gone away. I'm still here. You just thought I went away, but guess what? I'm still here. What you going to do now? You're going to just keep having these night terrors, keep being reminded, or are you going to go ahead and face it and just do something about it? So, I mean, we all have a choice to make. So, say if you're like me and you can be stubborn at times, which is a good chance, considering Aquarius is a fixed sign, and I don't mean that in a negative way, obviously. But, because, I mean, Anyway. Use that stubbornness in a positive way. By out-stubborn your comfort zone. And allowing yourself to go through the process. Use it in a positive way. To be determined that you're not going to just give up on yourself, walk away, don't do it at all. Just go through it. Just push through it anyway. Use it, your stubbornness in a good way. And it'll help you get through it. So, let's see if there's anything overall I'm getting before I close out the reading. This also help you blossom. I'm also hearing that song, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. So, I'm picking up also the good, bad, and the ugly again. Even though, because see, there's a reason why that roses has a thorn, to protect it. So you might be putting your guard up a lot, like a rose has its thorn. You wanted to protect yourself because you don't want to be hurt anymore, because you do have a delicate side to you like the rose, with the flowers, with the petals. And you tend to have those thorns want to keep protecting you from any. I'm also picking up not even wanting to let people in, so much so that you're just too guarded sometimes for your own good. And sometimes that's just not a good thing. So you have to learn how to not be over protective of yourself, as much as that might be hard to do. That's all I'm getting from the reading, so I'm going to go ahead and close out the reading now. And be sure to turn on the notification bell so you know each time I upload a new video. And like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, God bless.